A-Level Pure Maths. Hyperbolic functions. In this video we will look at the main hyperbolic functions. These are the hyperbolic sine function, pronounced shine or sometimes cinch, the hyperbolic cosine function, pronounced cosh, and the hyperbolic tangent function, pronounced tanh. We will look at the definitions and graphs of these functions. Before we look at these functions, it is worth having a quick recap on the exponential function. This function is written as e to the power of x, where e is Euler's number, which is approximately 2.718. E to the power 0 is 1, because any non-zero number raised to the power 0 is 1. This means that the curve passes through the point 0,1. For positive values of x, the function increases towards infinity, and the curve gets steeper as x increases. For negative values of x, the curve tends towards 0. We also need to know about some variants of the exponential function. The first is minus e to the x. This function is simply the negative of the original function, so it is formed by reflecting the original function over the x-axis. The next function we need to know is e to the minus x. In this case we are substituting minus x for x in the equation, so the graph must be reflected over the y-axis. Finally we will use the function minus e to the minus x. In this case the graph is reflected over the y-axis then the x-axis. Here is the definition of the shine function. It is formed from two exponential functions. Although the equation uses the difference between two exponentials, we can view it as the sum of two exponentials where one is negative. The first is e to the x. The second is minus e to the minus x. We add these two exponentials together and divide by 2, so we can think of the shine function as being the average value of the two functions. Here is the definition of the cosh function. Again it is formed from two exponential functions. In fact the only difference from the shine function is that the second exponential is positive. Once again we can view this function as the average of two exponentials. The first is e to the x. The second is e to the minus x. The average gives the cosh function. The tanh function is defined as the shine function divided by the cosh function. This can also be written as an expression involving only exponential functions. Here is a graph of the shine function. And here is the cosh function. Since shine of 0 is 0, and cosh of 0 is 1, tanh of 0 is equal to 0. For positive values of x, shine and cosh are both positive, so tanh is positive. For large values of x, the shine function gets closer and closer to the cosh function, so the value of tanh approaches 1. For negative values of x, shine is negative and cosh is positive, so tanh is negative. For large negative values of x, the magnitude of the shine function gets closer and closer to the magnitude of the cosh function, so the value of tanh approaches -1. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe or visit graphicmaths.com.